I'm just trying to decide if I'm comfortable even talking about that.
This one's wife. The dead eyes. Why? Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. The dead eyes of the narcissist are often commented upon, and also the case in relation to this one's wife, and especially so following her rather unfortunate, to put it mildly, photo shoot with Harper's Bazaar, whereby the numerous poses that she engaged in certainly demonstrated the dead-eyed look. Flat, glassy, vacant, dead eyes. Comments section filled with the same brutal refrain: shark eyes, doll eyes, the lights are on, but nobody's home. The observation is so consistent that it's outlived individual photos, and it's become a signature, and it is an accurate one in relation to the fact that she is a narcissist. In the early ascendant phase, when she was in the post-engagement glow and the wedding, her eyes looked different. They appeared wide, sparkling, performing, and that's the operative word, apparent warmth on demand. That was because it was the idealization stage, where the grandiose self is flooded with fuel, and this allows the eyes to shine because she, in effect, is high on fuel. Off her tits on reflected glory. But the problem is, the more fuel that is required, the harder it becomes to keep it fresh, and thus, in relation to the position of Prince Harry as the intimate partner primary source, he gets devalued. And the problem is now, is that as a consequence of her overexposure, the mask that was utilised to make it seem like she was warm and engaging with sparkling eyes no longer fits. It has to be held in place by force of will, and when the mask is all that remains, it's the eyes that die first. This one's wife doesn't experience a stable inner self the way that emotionally healthy people do. Her identity is simply a performance, repeatedly edited to ensure maximum provision of fuel, the pursuit of the prime aims. In the beginning, the performance tends to be effortless for the narcissist because the world, and in some instances that means the intimate partner primary source, in other instances it might literally be the world, is applauding. But when the applause fades, when that fuel starts to become stale, the performance must be dialed up to compensate. The smile becomes wider, the eye contact more intense, the head tilts more choreographed. But the harder that the face works to signal warmth, stroke authenticity, stroke joy, the more the eyes start to contradict it. They go blank, because there is no authentic feeling behind them to animate the gaze. There is no emotional empathy. What you are seeing in the Harper's Bazaar close-ups is a woman manually operating the corners of her mouth, while the once powered spontaneous expression has long since retreated. Narcissists are capable of only a narrow band of emotions: grandiosity, envy, rage, hatred. Everything else is simulated. This one's wife, by this stage, is now facing repeated threats to control. Earlier, the bullying report, the Griffmas Netflix trailer backlash, the endless piss takes of her jam, the ridicule of the faux tours, the repeated failures in the course of this year, many of which you will find in parts passim. Each public failure is a threat to her control that threatens the core lie that her narcissism tells her, which is, I am universally adored and superior. To protect her from disintegration, the narcissism slams the emotional shutters closed. Affect flattens. The eyes, which are the most honest part of the human face, register the shutdown first. What the camera catches isn't sadness on her part. She doesn't actually experience sadness. It actually is the absence of any legible human feeling. The technical term is flat effect, but the internet and many others call it dead eyes. She experiences chronic dissociation. She's simultaneously performing the role of this one's wife, beloved bananatarian, while internally monitoring audience responses like a stock ticker. The necessity of maintaining control and drawing fuel. This split attention creates a 1,000-yard stare. Watch any recent clip. She's looking at the camera, but she's also looking at how she is being looked at. There's no one home in the gaze because the self is busy directing the movie in real time. The Harper's Bazaar shoot is particularly damning, and the video in slow motion. You see the eyes never soften. They never dart with genuine curiosity. They never crinkle with real laughter. They remain fixed in a mid-distance trance, as if her soul, if she had one, is floating 3 feet behind her head, watching the shoot on a monitor and barking notes. Healthy eyes light up because they mirror the emotions of the people that they look at. As you know, narcissists mirror also, but only for the purpose of the pursuit of the prime aims. When fuel becomes scarce, mirroring is abandoned as inefficient. The fact is that she doesn't, when engaging with people, track the children or person's expressions. She doesn't widen in shared delight. She remains locked on the lens, performing a particular role for the benefit of the viewers. Those around her might as well be cardboard cutouts. The absence of any reciprocal animation on the part of this one's wife is what creates the chilling doll effect that many viewers instinctively recoil from. Beneath her presentation of "I'm a wonderful human being, empathic and kind," sits the repeated threats to control. The threat to control at having been a cable actress who believed the royal family would crown her as their saviour. The threat to control at her failed podcasts, the failed brand, the failed global privacy tour. The threat to control at the realisation that the world sees through the act. These threats to control are intolerable, and therefore they have to be walled off and nullified. The physiological signature of this walled-off nullification of the threat to control is muscular tension around the orbits and a fixed, unblinking stare. Look at the close-ups. The lower eyelids are slightly raised, the classic Duchenne tension of suppressed emotion. The pupils are often constricted, and the gaze never softens into the micro-fissures that signal vulnerability. It is the look of a person whose narcissism has armoured the windows to within, because letting anything real escape would risk total collapse. She, as a narcissist, is no longer capable of object relations. People have ceased to exist as separate centres of consciousness. Her eyes reflect this reality. When this one's wife stares into the lens now, she is not seeing photographers, readers, or even haters. She is seeing a mirror that is no longer reflecting the image that she needs. The deadness is the void staring back. The smile continues because the mask must be upheld at all cost, but the eyes have surrendered. They have nothing left to say because there is no other left to speak to. That is why, in photo after photo, year after year, the expression hardens into something waxy and inanimate. It's not Botox alone, though the frozen forehead doesn't really help. It's the visible endpoint of a personality structure that has consumed any authentic spark in the pursuit of grandiosity. She projects the hollow gaze of a mannequin that has finally realised the store is closing and no one is coming to buy. Her dead eyes are not a glitch. They are the feature, the final unretouched proof that the performance has outlived the performer. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.